Hi, I'm Julio Anta, and welcome to Anta's Minutes to Win It, coming to you from Anta's Fitness and Self-Defense here in Doral, Florida. Today's Minute to Win It is about vision versus dreaming, or Habakkuk 2:2-3 in the Bible. Well, tell you a few stories about me. I used to be a dreamer. Aren't we all? As a kid, dreamed about being a baseball player, dreamed about being a professional wrestler. Man, couldn't play baseball, still can't play baseball. I was the last one picked. I also had other dreams that did come true. I dreamed of being a bodybuilder. I dreamed of being a martial artist and a black belt. Yet, there's a huge difference between being a dreamer and a vision. And I didn't really start succeeding, real success, until I learned about vision. Now, yeah, I was a competitive bodybuilder before I learned about vision. I did martial arts. I was in the Marine Corps. And I even started working at the Department of Corrections. But my real success came when I learned about the vision. Now, let me tell you the story, how it all happened. I was working at South Florida Reception Center, a prison, obviously, as a correction officer. And a good friend of mine walked in one day that he was the canine supervisor, trained the dogs, Sergeant Eric Gonzalez. Eric comes to me and tells me that at his church, his pastor, Pastor Wall, had talked about vision. I had no idea what vision was. He tells me Habakkuk 2:2-3. And he tells me, I'm paraphrasing it obviously, that the Bible said to write your vision, and with time, it would come true. Now, he tells me this, he does a study on it, he writes his vision, typewrites it and all, which was awesome. So what did I do? I grabbed a piece of paper. This was 1995 or 96. I should have looked it up before, because I still have them, before I did the video, but I didn't. It was either 95 or 96, 1995 or 1996. So what did I do? I wrote it on a piece of paper. Now, what made me freak out with this, outside of being a Christian and believing in the Bible, was that I was listening at that time to Anthony Robbins, a motivational speaker, and he always told you to write your vision. So now, wow, Anthony Robbins taught all these people to be successful. Holy Bible tells you the same thing. I think I've got something here. So I wrote it. I wrote down that I wanted to start teaching martial arts. I wanted to start teaching it at a park and at a church, one of those places. I also put that I wanted to start doing self-defense for kids, anti-abduction, and for women also. So what happens? Exactly how I wrote it. I started the same week teaching at a church, teaching at the Doral Park Country Club, pavilion on top. At that church, didn't get many students. In a week, I said, you know what, let me just focus in one spot. I stayed at the country club. There's where the success started. Every year. Oh, and the first place I taught self-defense without my instructor on my own was at Pastor Wall's church, the Lion of Judah church. That was my first time, which it seemed like, man, that's why I love Eric and I love Pastor Wall. I had not met Pastor Wall until then. So what happens? Let's talk about it. A vision versus a dream. Again, I talked about we're all dreamers. We all dreams. Now, there's a saying, you hear people saying, a vision is not throwing a dime, quarter in a fountain and making a wish, or when you wish upon a star. No, you can wish all you want. And for Christians, you can lay back all you want, the Lord's going to provide. But if you don't do the work, it's not going to happen. I have this saying, when my competition is sleeping, I'm working. When my competition is eating, I'm training. Because I want to be ahead of them. I want to be fit. I want to be fearless. I want to be a student for life. Yet my faith is in my vision, writing it, knowing that God's going to do it if I work hard. But where do I get this from? Well, again, back to the Bible. Yeah, today my minute to win it is very biblical. The nation of Israel in the Bible, you would say before they went to war, they prayed, they fasted, and they trained hard to defeat the enemy. So, where I'm coming from is that, we must do all this But first we have to write the vision, look at it, have a game plan, make it happen. Again, every year, since that year, in December, I write my vision. About 80 to 90% of the stuff that I put have come true in the vision. Yes, I run one of the most successful martial art fitness centers in Florida. The most successful martial arts school in Doral by far, with the most students. I've lost track, maybe it's more now, over 150 TV shows, hundreds of magazines, newspapers. I've been on 4 covers of 4 different magazines and lost track on how many newspapers. I wrote the book. I've also had 2 DVDs out. And we continue every year to grow and succeed. Faith, writing that vision. So I'll leave you with this. I want to thank Eric Gonzalez and Pastor Walls for what they gave me. And until next time, live fit, live fearless, and God bless you all.